Bob, can you do me a favor? Sure. Tell Larry that I'm borrowing his tuba. Well, you might be able to tell him yourself. Hi, Larry.
Hi, Bob. Have you seen my tuba?
Jimmy was about to borrow it. Jimmy?
Welcome to Cooking with Bubba. I'm making spaghetti squash pasta. I've got my squash cut in half, the seeds are out. Got the oven preheated at 400 degrees. We're going to rub the inside down with some olive oil and let that cook in the oven for about 30 to 40 minutes until we can
pierce the outside with a fork.
Make sure it's good and tender. Rub that in real well all the way around.
Gosh, it sure is frustrating when somebody takes something without asking.
But you just got to forgive and forget. After all, if you borrowed something from Jimmy, you wouldn't want him to stay mad at you.
Yeah, I guess you're right. And besides, the only reason I needed it was to play a song for Archibald and Junior, but I haven't seen either of them.
So while the squash is cooking in the oven, we're going to move on to our next ingredient, which is the asparagus. We're going to chop them up into bite-sized pieces, and we'll add that to our ingredients as we get to the next step.
You know something? We got a message from a friend who is in a very similar dilemma.
Really?
Sure, people borrow things without asking all the time, and it can make quite the mess.
Well then, let's see the message. Bob, I don't get this one. Bob?
Alright, we've finished the asparagus. Now we're going to move over and cut the tomato. So we're using a very large ripe tomato instead of doing any Roma tomatoes or grape tomatoes. This is just what we had on hand. I'm just going to slice it up, cut it up, dice it, and put it in with our dish. Alright, I think our squash is ready to go. Test that, make sure we can poke through it. Yeah. Right, so we're going to let that cool a little bit, and then we'll move on to our next step. Alright, we're adding our asparagus to the pan. We've got, I'm going to do half of this because we're going to split it up into halves here. We've got 2 tablespoons of coconut oil that we've added to the pan, heated it up on low heat. We cook this for about 5 to 10 minutes until it's tender, and then we'll add our squash and next and our tomatoes. Alright, our asparagus has been cooking. We're adding some basil leaves, and then we're going to start to add our squash. So we're just raking the fork over the squash. You can see it's kind of pulling it up. It makes it look like it's some spaghetti noodles here. That's what we're adding in there. Alright, we're going to add half of our tomatoes. Just let this cook for just a few minutes, and then we'll take it off the heat and it'll be ready to eat. It's a very colorful dish. Thank you for watching Cooking with Bubba. We'll see you next time.